Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of Ford Focuses, but I reckon this one deserves a good review. Let's start with a 0 to 60 test. 3, 2, 1, go. It's quite a nippy little car, this. And 60. Okay, what I like about this car is if you give it a bit of a wiggle, it does roll around a bit, but it sort of seems to enhance the driving experience. I wouldn't be fantastically keen on doing an emergency swerve at high speed in the car, but it's one of those occasions where if you give it a bit of a wiggle test, it sort of complements what you're doing with the reaction of the car. Sometimes the cars boat and wallow and meander around all over the place so much that they counter effect what you're trying to do with the steering wheel. So you'll do an emergency swerve and the car will just sort of respond with negative movement. This seems to complement the car's direction that you intended to travel when you start to thrash it around a bit. A lot of noise coming from the car. It's quite a block, really. It's not an aerodynamic car, but it's 70 miles an hour, 5th gear. Could do with a 6th gear, I would say. Driving position's good. Unusual wing mirrors, they're very long and narrow, but that enables you to see where you've been, no problems. Great blind spot vision as well, if that makes sense. The rear view vision, once the headrests are up, it is obstructed, and if you had 3 people in the back, probably going to have some vision issues, but nothing to be alarmed about. The instrument cluster here, very visible, pretty easy to read, but they do have these annoying little circles around the sides which just add too much information. You basically want to look down there, you want to see what speed you're going, you want to see the revs, you want to see the temperature, you want to see the fuel. You don't want to see anything else. Pretty little shapes or digits. It's not obstructed by the steering wheel too. Center console, very basic, very easy to operate, don't have to take my eyes off the road. Now I'm going to do a brake test in a minute. It won't be an emergency stop, but I'll be braking firmly to get some idea of how the car is going to behave and react when it brakes. 3, 2, 1. Well, I can tell immediately the brakes are not that impressive. It's like putting your foot up against a wall. There's no opportunity to apply a gradual pressure at all. It's either on or off braking, and that's pretty primitive, I think, in modern day cars. Bit heavy on the corners. It's certainly got its flaws, this car, you know, but to be fair, this car isn't built for luxury, it isn't built to impress, it's built to go from A to B, get somebody to work, run the kids to school and do a bit of shopping. There really is nothing more to this car than that. If you're thinking about buying one, you're going to have a rough idea what to expect. Don't expect any more, but to be fair, this car does do what it says on the tin, and all in all, it's actually quite a good package. If you're thinking about buying one of these, look at the engine size on this review, because this one complements the car. I wouldn't go any smaller than that, and I certainly would avoid automatics, because automatics only work with big cars. The only real downside to this car is the fact that it's going to be shitty in the rain. A lot of understeer, wheel spinning, but as I said before, generally speaking, this car, you know, it's worth the money that people are going to be charging for them. Parts are cheap, it drives well, and to be fair, it ticks all the boxes.